Villains. A tale as old as time, and the never-ending battle to protect truth and justice from those who thrive on chaos and bloodshed. Come with us as we peel back the mask on your beloved Crusaders of Light and dive deep into the dark and twisted abyss of the most feared and hated harbingers of doom. Follow your host, Power Maximus, and everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage, as they take a trip down the rabbit hole that is everything super. So, are you a hero or a villain? Either way, find that super suit and suit up for the Super Breakdown.
My check 1 2 1 2. My check 1 2 1 2, and we are back with another amazing episode. This is the Super Breakdown. I'm your host, Power Maximus. We're here with everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage, and the Darth Legacy himself, Jason M40. What is up, you guys? How's the week been?
Mine's been pretty straightforward. Slept mostly.
Oh, that's the good stuff right there.
My week's good. Went down and visited some family. Much needed.
Okay, that's what's up. What's up? Me, just been busy, helping wifey around the house, taking care of the little one, helping them through this I'm pretty sure it's like the second week of school. Well, it's the first full week of school. I'm pretty sure. Yes, yeah. So I was just helping them through the first full week of school. But no, everything's been pretty smooth, pretty chill. But yeah, no, man. Last episode was great. The Hawks was great. I really enjoyed talking about them, and then just like just like the brainstorming that we did, just talking about like how we would do a solo film for them and bring them in properly to the DC cinematic realm. That would that was great. Fucking Triage, you're a genius. You're a genius, man. I swear.
I appreciate you.
Nah, like I really like just talking about that made me like, yo, man, we need to be writing this shit down. You're writing this shit down. Your next Ryan Coogler. I'm telling you, man. But no, this week is gonna be a great show. Thank you, Jason, for bringing up this idea. So we're going to be going over The Boys. Me personally, I just caught up with season 4. So season 4 is fresh in my head. Plus, it really wasn't a lot of episodes, so it's still kind of fresh in my head. So I'm interested for this because The Boys is a wild ass fucking show. It's a wild ass show.
It is.
Definitely. So Triage, you're all caught up, right?
Yeah.
All right, and then Jason, you said that you're just missing out on Gen V in season 4.
That is correct, but I don't mind spoilers here. I'm actually excited to hear about what we're going to talk about. I just finished season 3.
All right, cool. So Tank, so I Triage, yeah, I was telling him that like he has to watch Gen V at some point, at least before he watches season 4.
He definitely does.
Yeah.
I am gonna apologize ahead of time. I feel like this is gonna get really raunchy really quickly.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, that for this episode, it's not surprising.
It's not. Give me a second. I gotta throw up a disclaimer. This stream is rated M for mature, strong, explicit language. Probably we're going to be talking about some graphic ass scenes and very, very suggestive themes. So if you ain't ready for probably the most raunchiest episode of TSB history, you just get ready. Just
Get
ready.
ready.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have this banner up throughout the entirety of the show for anyone that just pops in. It's about to get crazy. Hey, I just want Twitch moderators, Kick moderators, YouTube moderators. We're giving you a heads up that this is, in the words of Dave Chappelle, you best not bring your kids. You definitely. That's a very, very, very good point to bring up there. All right, so let's get down to it. The boys. Who are the boys?
Well, the boys themselves are actually let's say I'd like to say they're the new Rebel Alliance, man, because the way that they're trying to take on this corporate bot America shit is just priceless.
Oh, absolutely, definitely.
That's a good description.
Yeah, it really is. So, like, either of you guys, and I'll say this: I had no clue who the boys were, what the boys was, until they dropped the show. It was a graphic novel before the show. So like, did you guys have any like understanding of what it was going into the show, or was you just blindsided as everyone else?
So I went to Comic-Con in New York City in 2018, and me and my sister, when we walked in, the first thing you see, I shit you not, is a quote from the boys, and it had to be 20 feet by 20 feet. It was fucking humongous. Ooh. And I remember reading this shit and going, what the fuck is the boys? Like, I've never even heard of the boys. I'm like, if I've never heard of it, it can't be that popular. So I just shrugged it off and left it at that. And then, sure enough, a year later, they announced the show, and I was like, oh, all right. And I was then once I sat through this fuckery, I was like, how, what? Oh my God.
Yeah. Jay, what about you? Were you blindsided, or did you know what was going down, what everyone was in for?
Well, I mean, I knew it was going to be about superheroes, but yeah, once I actually started watching it, it gets kind of crazy. You see some unexpected things, and the way they come up with everything is just it's a very good story.
Yeah, and I just love the fact that like every time they do something or try something, it always goes sideways.
In like the most epic way possible.
And it's almost immediately too. Almost immediately, as soon as they start the operation, shit just goes sideways. So in this episode, I really want to break down and really talk about like the highs and the lows of the show. The things that we liked a lot, and then like the things that we felt like really could have been pulled back on. The things that we probably would have fixed ourselves if we were writing it. So yeah, that's something that I really want to like nail that part, because like the shows, and I'm pretty sure I thought season 4 was supposed to be the last season, but clearly the way season 4 ended, it's not over.
No, they announced that season 5 was the last season.
Okay, 5. All right, cool. Because this season was only like what, like 8 episodes?
About that, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so for me, like, yeah, I knew nothing about it, but I was in a phase. I was like, I feel like I was just coming off of Watchmen when HBO dropped the series for Watchmen. So I've always had this fascination with superheroes. One, clearly I wouldn't be doing the show, but I've always had a fascination with superheroes. But I've always had the fascination of also the dark side of it all as well. So like, we have Superman, and he's just portrayed as this 100% all American, just stand up person, always does the right thing, no temptations, no vices, still takes care of ma and pa, just like this kind of perfect kind of person, all right, perfect kind of personality. But I've always been interested in the concept of superheroes are humans too. So right along with all these great powers and strengths that they have, they still have the shortcomings of humanity as well as society. They
Yeah,
can be corrupted, they can be not good people as well.
Well, that was one of the things I thought that was really interesting with Henry Cavill's Superman, because I always felt his portrayal of Superman was too human, and then
Yeah.
and then you see that like with the flash forwards they tried to do with the whole thing with him being evil in that apocalyptic future with the whole thing with Darkseid. So
Mhm.
I'm not completely shocked by that, because it's like then we've also seen it with the whole Dark Knight's Metal thing. Like, what if the Batman actually did lose his shit? So it's like,
And then, like I said, Watchmen as well.
right. But the thing with the boys with this whole thing with the VOT group is that they're corporate America. So like it's like, yo, what if the Justice League really had sponsors?
yeah. What would it be like if a corporation actually had and owned superheroes, and what would the world be like?
Yeah. If once you throw money into and honestly, I feel like this is a real nice cautionary tale as well, as to what happens when you throw money into a good thing.
Absolutely.
All this is literally just about greed. Either the want for more money or the want for more power. This is definitely I feel like this is a cautionary tale to capitalism.
Really.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, once this show, it gives you such an interesting take, because it gives you a perspective that you normally would never be able to even have, especially with people actually having powers and them getting exploited.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Or even them being the ones doing the exploiting, because it goes back to what Batman's saying. Superman, if you go rogue, which one of us motherfuckers is going to actually be able to stop you?
Really.
Who can stand against you if you decided today that you wanted to take over America, if you wanted to start a war with Russia, if you wanted to decide you want to throw the planet into the fucking sun? Can't nobody stop you? So it's definitely that story of like, if Superman gave in to the modern version of capitalism, if Superman wanted the fame, the fortune, and the recognition, literally this show goes against every rule of being a superhero.
Really it does.
Seriously. And again, like, I feel like it does it in such a in your face way. It doesn't sugarcoat shit.
No, it doesn't. This show, it lays it all out on a silver platter and gives you all the details.
And then once it sets it out on the silver platter, it forces you to eat it. It really forces you to eat it. So let's talk about like the start, like off rip. Like, I was so taken aback with that fucking that first scene of the show, and that shit seriously sets the tone for the rest of the show. So what do I want to know? All right, so I'll lay the scene out for those who haven't seen it. So the scene, you're introduced to this scrawny, skinny, really pale, pasty, like kind of dorky, nerdy white guy working
Diary
at
of a
this.
Wimpy Kid.
Yeah, Diary of a Wimpy Kid style.
Let's just call him Luke Skywalker.
Let's just call him Luke Skywalker. Yeah. And he's working at this damn near rundown kind of like Radio Shack electronics store, and then this beautiful young black chick come in and they start talking, kind of find out that they in a relationship together. And that right off the rip, I was like, oh, okay, this fuckery going on here. Never mind. Well, this show's up to something. It's up to something. But now they're talking, they're holding hands, they walking out of the store and shit. And now they're talking about their life and their future together, buying a house on like farmland and shit. It's just they walk through like the streets of New York City and shit. Whatever, they stop. Shorty steps off the curb. She's like, yeah, you know what? Let's move in together. He's like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, we might. And then just out of nowhere, and the only way I can explain what happens next is with one word.
Goongala.
Splat.
You ever see a bug get splattered on your windshield?
Yeah. Yep. But in this instance, there was no exoskeleton holding everything together.
So I don't think that would have helped. Fuck.
Fucking got a motherfucker running through you at Mach 10.
Listen, let's be honest. That's not the first time she's had someone run through her. But anywho,
honestly, I think it might have been. And you saw who she was dating. He wasn't. Yeah. Nah. That might have been the first.
That might have been why he was so upset afterwards. Maybe that was.
And the other half of that was a black man that did it.
I wasn't touching that already.
I can't believe you even went there.
But nah, so what ends up happening is Shorty goes splat, and you don't know it happened either. It's just literally, it's just like the way the camera angle is, it's focused on the homeboy's face, and you see her hands, right? And then next thing you know, literally in like one scene, like
he looks up and
he's just covered in blood. and literally it's literally one frame, and then he's just covered in blood. And then the camera fucking zooms out. You still see her hands, but then you see that the hands ain't connected to shit.
I can't stop.
And then you turn around and look, you see this black man in his bright ass blue costume, covered in blood, and he's like, I can't stop. I'm sorry. And it dips off. Apparently he was a speedster. So the first scene of this, you just watch an innocent woman get splattered like a fucking bug on a windshield by a man running Mach 10. So basically, what was y'all reaction to this to this first scene? The show, the first episode opening up like this. Jay. Whoever gonna go first.
How about that? I was staring at the screen, my mouth hanging open. I showed that scene to my sister and recorded just her reaction. Didn't show what happened, just her reaction. And 7 of her friends watched that show just off her reaction.
Oh man, it makes me want to show my grandmother now. Nah, I can't. No, my grandmother would love that shit. I love my grandmother so much. She a real one. She would laugh her ass off at that shit. She's definitely a real one.
I watched that scene and it gave me a complete sense of what the entire show is going to be about. And I was like, oh, okay, so the superheroes are the assholes. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, man. My jaw was on the fucking floor, dude. I was like, oh, it's like that. Oh, it's like that. Oh, all right, all right. Oh yeah, so I cannot watch this around the little one. Oh no, 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 no. Thought this was gonna be a superhero movie. Oh hell no, nope. This ain't that Disney money. This that Basil money right here. This is what happens when Basil puts money to shit. This shit happens. But yeah, no, like right off of that. So what you end up finding out as the show progresses is that like superheroes are an everyday thing. There's people that got powers just roaming around and walking around. Now this show has this such a like the writing of this show is just so good.
It is.
When it comes to like spelling out the corporate world of it all, and then it's like, what this is what you see on the surface, a fucked up world. But they say not to judge a book by its cover, right? But you realize as you peel back that layer of bullshit, that it's actually worse than you thought.
Phenomenally.
Yeah, like it's far worse than you thought. The world that they're living in, like, oh wow, you're like, damn, I can relate that to the world we're living in now, but clearly that's just a little bit worse until you really look at what it looks like underneath, and you're like, whoa, their world that they live in is far fucking worse. You find out there's a whole government fucking conspiracy that created fucking a serum that creates superheroes way back in the, like, what was it? Let's see, Soldier Boy was in
Nah, it went back to Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
Soldier Boy was fighting Nazis. Yeah. Yup. And yes. Oh yeah, because of fucking Stormfront. She was a fucking Nazi. Yeah. No, so this show does not shy away from sexism, doesn't shy away from misogyny, doesn't shy away from, assault in every possible shape of the form.
Really.
Physical, mental, sexual, like, man, and now it's like that first season, like, there was a lot of big moments in that first season that really, like, paved the way for the rest of the fucking show. Like, from, that first episode of, A-Train running through Shorty, to the fucking baby experimentation episode.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well,
that was like, I mean, like, you're watching the show normally, and then that episode came out, and then it's like, okay, I guess there's no more line.
pretty much, because I'm like, oh, all right, there's a line, there, when it comes to television and stories and writing, there's always a line. It's a thin line, and the line's very, very far away, right? But there's a certain shit that you don't do. There's certain shit that you don't put on TV. There's always been a thing that women and children are safe, which that's been broken within recent years. I feel like the first thing I watched that had zero fucks given about murking out a chick or murking out a kid was The Walking Dead.
Yes. Yeah. That, I mean, The Walking Dead was, pretty gory. I mean, The Boys is
another level.
Yeah.
Another level. Another fucking level. But, like, no, like, in this show, women are definitely not safe. They tell you that shit right off. And the first, it's not like, oh, all right, if a woman dies, she's gonna do it off screen. No. The first episode, splat.
Splat.
Mhm.
Like, but then, like I said, you're going through, and each episode you're seeing like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on here? You got chicks with claws coming out of their body doing drugs.
Yep.
Shorty crushes man's head with her legs.
Listen, all right. If you're gonna die a death worthwhile. And I don't know about you, but I actually like having my face sat on. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, he didn't even have the good bits in his face.
Oh God.
Wait, did he?
Nah, he was definitely eating that.
Yeah. He didn't even have the good bits in his face.
I loved the scene in the beginning. I think it was in the first season. Like, this is exactly, if this were the real world, this would happen in the real world. And this scene is the scene where the corporation uses a superhero that can change its skin to have sex with one of the senators.
Oh my God.
Wow, holy shit. The shapeshifter.
Puts a blindfold over him so he can't see her. Then morphs into a very large fat man.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, that doesn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
Stay back and let it happen, baby. It's like, oh, all right.
Starts taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
That would happen in the real world.
Yeah, that would happen.
Corporate espionage on a whole nother level. Because like it really is. It's like what would the government do if they had these superhuman people that could do fucking anything at their fingertips, and all they gotta do is throw a check at them.
Literally,
superhuman beings with no morals.
No morals whatsoever. Literally, like, imagine a guy who has the strength of Superman, but he's also a sociopath.
Right?
That's kind of that's a problem.
With no known weaknesses.
None.
That's one thing to me. I thought that was kind of interesting that they didn't really play on well with this, because every power has some kind of a drawback, whether it be someone who absorbs energy who can't sleep, or someone who has super strength who's been told their entire life to be mindful of their strength. Like, that wasn't played well at all. But the one thing that, like, no, in my opinion, it wasn't played on well at all.
No, I'm gonna let you finish. Then I'm gonna say what I want to say. Go ahead.
Okay, because like even like A-Train, because it's like if he was to run around long enough, like they said, the Flash had to constantly eat or be mindful of when he rested. Otherwise, he would run to the point where he couldn't move at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like your power 9 times out of 10 has some kind of drawback, or is the drawback in itself. And it's like that was never shown well at all in that show to me. But the one thing that was shown is that for whatever reason, that all the soups have a heightened sense of hearing.
Mm-hmm.
So
there was like base powers that they all had.
So it's like, because it's like how there's any sound over a certain amount of decibel, like they basically have super hearing like a dog. So it's like anything that's over a certain amount of decibel, like will completely disorient them or cause them to be in extreme pain from the sound.
Yeah. So my only counter to that is that I think they wanted to base it in kind of real life, because if you look at the Superman story, he's incredibly strong, and he just so happens to be able to be weakened by a certain mineral from his home planet.
Right.
Now, I think they're looking at this. They took more of the Viltrumite role of it. Viltrumites have no real known weakness besides another Viltrumite, right? But even then, you can't really bring them in because they're literally a whole different race, a whole different species. Now,
Yeah.
but now if you look at it, these are people that they're they didn't just have powers; they were genetically modified. You know what I mean? So it's like instead of a hero having to learn to control that ability and hearing and stuff, well, even then, you can't even say it because a lot of them, when they first their powers first manifest, they don't know how to use them. So who knows? A lot of these heroes that they've had these powers since they're since they were kids. Because their parents shot them up with this compound V, which gave them, these powers. So they've had training on with like this, the hearing and stuff like that. But A-Train did have a weakness though, because remember they were saying that his heart would explode. I know it was like his heart was compromised from taking the artificial V, the temp V, but I feel like. But the point was that it was making him run faster.
Well,
so the wear and tear on his heart ended up being accelerated rather than it normally was. So eventually, over time, his heart would have deteriorated enough that he would end up having that heart attack. So that still has like a weakness. But I think the point is that their bodies are supposed to be beyond durable, so it can withstand all the strains and stuff like that these powers would put on them. That's what I got from it.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
But I feel like the problem comes in if you have to explain it too much like that. If you really have to think about it to explain it, then I feel like I believe you may be right. They didn't really explain it well enough on their own.
No, I mean I get the point, but like not being responsible at all for the powers that you already have, and you're gonna take something that may help you go faster, yet is gonna damage your heart. Did he? I can't remember. Did he know that his heart?
No, he didn't. So the temporary V, compound V in general, but the temp V was like completely experimental. So there was, they were just taking it as a drug, essentially, to kind of like get off and get high and stuff like that. And so yeah, there were no like clearly it was like any other drug that you could like overdose on. That's as much as they knew. But like with him, like he had no. I don't think he knew that it would fuck up his heart, because he's thinking I'm superhero, I'm super strong, durable, and can't nothing hurt me.
Yes, yeah.
Like in DC Comics, when Bane realized how addictive his venom was, the quote that he constantly said was, that which doesn't kill you can make you stronger. But the misconception also is that which makes you stronger can often kill you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like that's something they should have been more living by, opposed to just taking it at like, oh, I'm gonna go willy-nilly and have as much fun as possible. But once again, hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, but I also believe they're in a world where being a superhero has been superstar, be turned into superstar status. So everything being a superhero is great, good. Your superheroes have been put on, people with powers have been put on such a high pedestal that he probably thought and was raised that nothing could go wrong.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of the pedestal, let's talk about the Seven real quick.
Oh, absolutely. We was getting there. So within the Seven, we got Homelander, which is Superman, leading the pack. We got their Wonder Woman, Queen Maeve. We got their Aquaman, which is we gotta have a whole segment on that. We gotta have a whole segment on that motherfucker. Was the Deep. Then you got their Batman, which is Black Noir, who to me was actually one of the most interesting characters. Then you got their Speedster, their Flash, A-Train. That's 5. 6 was Translucent, their Invisible Man. And then they had just hired a 7th, which was Starlight. Who ends up being clearly being a very, very important character in this. Apparently, like the actual actress is just like covered in head to toe with tattoos.
Did not know that.
Yeah, face like everywhere. Like she has like mad face tattoos and stuff like that.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Give me 1 sec. Let me see if I can pull this up. But yeah, apparently, like, yeah, she's like, I don't know if it was like maybe it was a skit or something like that. I don't know, but let me see here.
They hide it very well.
Yeah, the makeup job on the show is actually very, 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 very good. Can't seem to find it, but I don't know. There was like a whole thing when she was like covered in tattoos. Maybe it was promo because that. All right, so their marketing team deserves a fucking raise. Like the marketing for this show has been some of the most unique shit I've seen in a long time. Like when they would like periodically release, because the whole thing like Vought is like the big overarching capitalistic kind of thing. Like Vought is like
Vought is the mouse.
Yeah, I would say Vought is bigger than the mouse.
Nigga, there's nothing bigger than the mouse.
I mean, you're right. Seeing the way they be fucking their their actors.
Whoa! I wasn't going there, but
whoa.
Hey, it has to be said. Paid them what they worth. Paid them what they worth.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Clearly, I mean, even aside from the way they fuck their actors, look at the way they fuck their writers. The way they fuck their writers.
I mean,
fucking nymphos.
True.
Oh,
fucking
Lord.
Nymphos. And again, we don't kink shame here. No, some kings definitely get shamed because that shit's just wrong.
Let's not kick that horn's nest.
We not.
It'll go so quickly. We can't bring it back, bro. But let's.
Yeah, you're right. It was going there. It was definitely going there. But the mouse, yeah. But pretty much, yeah, they were just like overarching, overall, fucking. They have monopolized. Oh, that's another thing. If like there was no law against monopolies, but yeah, so they literally had their hand in everything. They had their own. They had multiple TV shows. Multiple TV channels. They were conquering the movie realm with their superheroes doing movies and shit like that. They had all types of brandings and shit like that. Like they were massive.
They said, I think in the very beginning, Homelander is in like a meeting or something, and they tell him that he's brought in like over $12 billion alone for them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he got the whole thing. I feel like the thing that started triggering Homelander was the fact that within that they said that Queen Maeve was polling higher than him. That like people liked her more than him. Only by a little bit. And that shit triggered that nigga so fucking bad to the point where he fucking put a plane down, killed everyone on the plane, just
including
to
a
prove point.
child.
Yeah, everybody died. Everybody, and it's like it's crazy because like it's hard for us to even think about a world where like for some of us, you know, like for me, like I can't think of a position that I'd be in where like if I had superpowers, I wouldn't use them to help somebody.
Literally. And what you just said, in comparison to Homelander laying his hand on somebody's neck and like, you know, basically blackmailing them, like in a conversation, is just like holding a gun to their head.
Like, don't get me wrong. I do some shit. Absolutely do some shit. But like, obviously, an old lady getting robbed. Yeah, no. You know, I'm gonna help the old lady. But like, if my pocket's a little low,
It's like somebody putting your hand on their shoulder and like, give me your money.
yeah, it's like, yeah, it would be. I mean, I'm going corporate. I'm going big. I'm Robin Hood style. Nah, and not the little people. Not the little people. The people that can afford to lose it. Type thing. And that actually brings up a little segue. A good tangent for the moment. What would you guys do if you woke up tomorrow with superpowers?
Depends on the power.
It would depend on the
Whatever
power.
is that like you're like that you would love to have. You woke up with the power that you would love to have. What are you doing?
Like I'm becoming a supervillain. There's no ifs buts about it. Listen, as black and as pro-black and as outspoken as I am, there's no way I'm not going to be labeled a domestic terrorist.
Oh
There's,
my god.
I would be on federal watch list before lunch.
Jay, what about you?
I would just love the power to fly. Not even super strength, just to fly. And I would literally fly anywhere, anytime I wanted, go any place I wanted around the world at any time.
All right. Say, Triage, what would your power be?
Me? If I
Yeah.
had to pick any power, I'd want to be invulnerable. I'd want to be like Juggernaut.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh.
What are your plans?
Doesn't matter. He's the tank, bitch.
Try out for the Ravens.
That's not bad. Make a bag while you're doing it.
I would never go to practice. And every time I got interviewed, I'd be like, y'all know why I'm here.
I'm the tank, bitch.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, I'm here because they want me to be here. I'm trying to make money, not lose money. So we got flight, we got Juggernaut. Me, I don't know. Like the narcissist in me wants to say reality bending, but then like the more grounded human being, it's like I don't know. I don't want to fall into the stereotype of having electric powers.
I mean,
but teleportation also don't sound bad either.
Honestly, bending reality sounds too scary.
Yeah. That seems like something that you have to take years to experiment with and get to make sure you can get it right. So you can learn how to change shit, but also if shit goes wrong, you can change it back.
That's like, oh my god.
Yeah. But no, I'd have to say like either electricity or or fuck, what was the other one I said? Teleportation. Yeah, then bank vault's gonna be empty real fast.
Okay, Hayden Christensen.
Absolutely, bro. I don't give a damn what nobody says. That movie was. I enjoyed that movie thoroughly.
I mean, that is what anybody would do,
Mm-hmm.
honestly.
Mm-hmm. I got the idea from Hayden Christensen. Not really him, but from Jumper. I'm not trying to incriminate nobody in some shit that ain't a part of. But no, yeah, definitely. I'm coming in and out of them vaults real fast. Real fast. Real fast. Be able to take whatever vacation I want. No travel expense. Man, I don't need no luggage. I don't need no hotel stay. I don't need none of that. None of that whatsoever. I can pop to Belize for a day, walk on the beach, wake up in the morning, throw my swim trunks on, boom, I'm in Belize on the beach. Somewhere. Brazil, Barbados, on a beach somewhere, sipping Mai Tais. All right, Mai Tais done. You know, I'll recharge my melanin. Time to go home.
Oh, could you imagine if there was really a superhero in the world, but you would have to pay to get saved?
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens in The Boys. Like, if you want
Nah,
a little extra care, you won't have to pay.
that he means like, could you imagine like if you're in fucking Bora Bora and like you fall overboard and all of a sudden the deep shows up and it's like, yeah, it's gonna cost you like $500, bro.
Nigga, I'd rather drown than let that motherfucker help me. I'd rather drown than let that motherfucker touch me. I will drown. Nope. That motherfucker is sick.
It's like
fucking sick.
It's like, what if you're not happy, right? And you decide to jump off a bridge, and then you get saved, and then you owe like $50,000.
But you can also. But here's the wild shit. You can also countersue them. You can countersue.
Are we going full Incredibles with this? Is that what's going?
Yep. You can countersue. Like, yo, listen. You know, I feel like my free will has been impeached upon. My rights to do what I want. You know,
That's crazy.
My body. You know, I choose what I want to do with it is what I want to do with it. And this soup.
Whoa! you're not saying soup.
My bad. This super.
Nah, we all know what you just said.
No. I made it worse. I added the ER.
Get this hard R away from me.
Oh, awful.
Let me see. SUPER. There's a few missing.
Oh god.
Yeah. No, it's like one letter short. One letter short. But hey, yo, he infringed upon my rights to do what I want to do with my body. He forcefully touched me. I did not consent to him engaging with me. He fucking hit the motherfuckers on everything. Like, oh, you want $20 million? Sorry, I'm countersuing you for that $20 million.
Speaking of not wanting to get touched, let's talk about the deep.
I think it was a matter of time for this to happen.
Oh, I was waiting for this. As soon as you said you get saved by the deep, I was like, yeah, here we go. This man is a living embodiment of bestiality.
Wow, that got really dark really quickly.
I mean, honestly,
bro, he was fucking a dolphin in the blowhole.
I mean, I can't speak to volumes to where you would fuck a dolphin. I know nothing of fucking dolphins. That's not my case.
Yeah, like I said, some are just wrong. Bro, he got head from an octopus, bro. No. Just no.
I think that octopus have beaks.
Yeah. 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 This motherfucker got fellatio from an orthopod. Right? They're orthopods?
I am just sit here in silence.
Like,
Okay.
but
So
like, come on now. Like, he is literally like, don't get me wrong, Homelander does some real, he does fucked up shit. But,
Okay. So you want to know what the funny thing is?
good.
So actually, in the book, it's not the Deep. It's Homelander who Starlight actually initially meets. Right.
Oh.
So yeah, like
okay.
he's the one who's taking her around and telling her, this, that, and the third. So like she's like, oh, all right. And he goes, one last thing before we actually bring you on in. And this nigga whips his dick out and was like, suck it. And she's like, oh my God. Oh no. Oh, what's going on? This isn't what I signed up for. And he's like, yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she's like this, like once again, like when I tell you like this nigga's dick is out, I'm talking about like pants are just like at the ankles, and he's having a full fledged conversation like, yo, what is it worth to you to be part of the seven? And it's like, what I mean, if you if you don't promise this, that, and the third, and she's like, I refuse to do this. I'm this not gonna happen. And then out of nowhere, A-Train walks in with Black Noir, and she was like, oh my God, can you guys please tell him? And next thing you know, these niggas whip theirs out.
Wow.
Oh my God. Okay.
That's far worse.
First of all, if they did exactly that, like how it played out in the comic, in the show,
That show would not be on season 4.
No. The way they did it in the show, she brings up that the poster in her room growing up was that of the Deep, and she admits it, like being like self-conscious and a little embarrassed, but making conversation. And then literally, I don't even think that any other words were spoken. She looks over and his John is hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's confused, like, but you just said you like me, right? How much is it worth to you?
Yeah, no, that's, and it's like, it's literally like, because she had like turned her back and walked away, and you hear in the background his zipper unzip, and she turns around and is like, oh, whoa, oh my God. Yeah,
Awful.
no, that, like, this show, like, I feel like if they would had, brought that scene to, to the show, there would be riots in the street.
Yeah.
There would be riots in the street.
Yeah.
I literally think they had to sit there and be like, yeah, so we can't do this, and we can't. Yeah, so yeah, and that when you think about it, the stuff that we see in the show, it's what made it from the novel, from the graphic novel. Now just imagine what they had to cut out.
Oh man, yeah.
That is ridiculous. Like, that's scary to know the stuff that they actually chose to cut out. Like, oh my God, that's crazy. Again, like, I've never read the novelization at all. That's sick. That's sick. That's pretty sick. And then the only one that really had any kind of like conscience was Queen Maeve, to an extent.
Yeah.
Well, I was always curious, like, was it an actual conscience thing, or was it just the fact that she was another female? Like, did she understand the fuckery and have like her own trials and tribulations that she went through?
No, there's that, but I agree. I think she saw Starlight as a way out, because the only reason why she was there was because she couldn't leave. She was afraid to die.
I mean,
yeah. So but now she sees Starlight and she's like, hold on, you know what? She's always had these thoughts, but now she sees someone that's, she's not too far into it to get herself out. Now she's like, I'm already in way too deep. I'm in too deep, but I can probably help her get out while she still can.
Yes.
And then when she does finally see her get out, then she's like, all right, hold on, actually might not be too late for me. I actually might be able to get out. She learns what Billy, Mother's Milk, Frenchie, and Huey are doing, and she's like, I might, at first she was trying to stop them because she's like, no, you're about to poke this hornet's nest, and you're about to fuck everything up for me. But then she's like, you know what? Nah. I can use this as a way to get out.
Now, that's another thing, man. When have you ever met a brother with a nickname like Mother's Milk? Like was that ever explained?
Yeah, I think they did. They did, but they were holding on to it for a while. They had made mention to it like for a while. And then they eventually they ended up telling us. I don't remember why. But even then, I believe I thought his last name was Milk.
No, because his first name is Marvin.
Yeah, his first name is Marvin, and I think they called him MM. Because I think his last name was Milk. No, it wasn't. It was shit. It was something else. It was something that started with an M. So when they gave him a nickname, they kept with the alliteration MM. But not, that. Okay, so what they also didn't like, and this is something that the actor also said that he didn't like, is that they made him shave.
What are we talking about?
Mother's Milk.
Oh,
yeah, they made him shave for seasons 4.
Huh?
Yeah. And he said that he wasn't, that he personally really didn't like it. And he's like, bro, I don't like the way I look without a beard. He said that was his first time kind of like really taking it all off. And he's like, oh yeah, hell no, I do not like the way this looks. Yeah, no. Yeah, that threw me off. Because he also pointed out that it was to a point when people thought that they recasted him. They didn't recognize him at all. They thought they had recasted him.
Well, he also looks like he had lost some weight between the seasons too, and that makes all the difference too.
Oh yeah, big time. But I feel like if he would have kept the beard, he would have been at least like, we would have been like, oh shit, he lost weight. But like with the beard, he literally looks like a completely different person. He looks like a completely different person. So I thought that was interesting. How do you guys feel about the character development?
I can relate to that because I look completely different without a beard.
Oh yeah. Man, listen, I'll never go without a beard. I'll go without my mustache. Never going out. It's either one or the other. Because I've gone without both since I've had my beard. I've gone without both before, and I'm just like, oof, ugh. I feel like women are gonna walk by me and like hide their children. Like I was like, yeah, I can't be looking like this. I can't be looking like this out here. Yep. So it's either I will always have facial hair, either it's gonna be the full on Mr. T beard, like everything, or it's either beard, which I don't like that, or just mustache. But yeah, no, it just threw me off completely. So how do you guys feel about the character development for each character? Like, because there's definitely some characters that I feel like got like little to no character progression, and then there's some that like their character progression is just like off the fucking charts.
Well, when it comes to character development, is that it's kind of usually straightforward when it comes to a superhero story, because either that villain becomes who they're meant to become, the hero becomes who they're meant to become, or it's that odd third choice where you realize this person is not as good or as evil as they really are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you look at perfect example. Look at Billy Butcher. Like
Yep.
Billy is a perfect example of what happens when you give someone with an axe to grind the resources they need to fight an oppressor or to fight an enemy who is at such a level of corruption. It's so hard for you not to become worse than them or become them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good description. Yeah.
Like he went soups. He might as well be out there yelling nigga. And next thing you
Yeah.
know, he's out there tying his arm off, shooting that liquid Kraken.
Yeah, you either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain. And so wait, so Jay, you're cool with spoilers.
Oh yeah, no problem.
All right.
No
So
problem.
well, we got one. I got a big one incoming. Yeah, definitely. He ended up living long enough where he ends up becoming a villain.
I
He ends up
can.
becoming the thing that he hates.
You know what? That doesn't surprise me because a man filled with that much hate. Oof.
Yeah. And like you said, being given the power to actually do something with all that hate. Oh man, that's like having a pressurized container and then finally letting it loose. It just blows.
Literally.
Yeah. And that ends up exactly. I'm interested. I think I got to go back and watch season 3 again because Billy has this shit that's like crawling around his body, and I don't remember what it was or how it got there, or if they talked about it in season 3 or if this is something new in season 4 that they're going to explain later.
I believe that it's a result of him using the synthetic Gen V.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So but it's like a legit parasite inside of him.
But that's exactly what it might be, because you got to remember, like his body is not. The issue is that he took it as a grown adult, opposed to all the other suits who had it given to him as children. So it's like, who's to say how it would have manifested in his body?
That's true. And it seems like, everything that he's kind of like seeing, he's hallucinating about his wife. He's hallucinating an old army buddy. And so I was thinking maybe like this is like an actual sentient being that's kind of like that's fucking with his mind. But when you put it that way, like I don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe he had a parasite already, and then the Gen V just mutated it.
Or the Gen V itself could be the parasite. And you also got to look at it. You also got to look at it this way. It's like you never know what type of power someone's going to get, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like there's never any power index, never any different variations of the formula. It's not like, oh, you gave blue to this kid and he had super strength. You gave red to this kid and he was a speedster. You gave green to this kid and he had electric powers. That's not the way it worked. You just gave the kid the formula and whatever abilities to develop, they developed. So
Yeah,
that
there's some soups that got like ridiculous ass powers, and there's some that are just ridiculous.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like there's no real guarantee to say that parasite that's quote unquote living inside his body right now is not actually the manifestation of what his power might have been if it had been given to him at the right age.
But here's the thing: when he took it before, he had laser vision and he was invulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
So why has it changed?
Because he's also taken like 9 different variations of the formula.
Oh yeah, he has, because he took the 10th V, and then he fucked around and took the later formula of it, because he took the old version of it, and then he also took the new version of it. And then there's the actual solidified formula, which is compound V, which is the one that like stays in your system. Is not temporary. You're mutated. You got the powers. And yeah, and it's that's interesting. That is interesting.
Right.
Or he was sick. No.
And Homelander has stated himself that, like, he said that he X-rayed his head, and he said that his brain is a bunch of masses. Like he says, like he has tumors and cancer. At least that's what I took from what he was saying.
Yeah. He has cancer. Super cancer, as they said in the show.
Because like the formula has progressed it and made it worse.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, what I'm thinking is that he was already sick, and then taking the V just accelerated it, and it could have actually turned whatever it was that was already in him into this somewhat parasite kind of being.
Turned his tumor into a super parasite.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's that's crazy. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt some kind of way. And another spoiler coming up for you, Jay. I was just tight that Newman died.
Is Newman dead though?
Bro, he ripped her in half.
Is Newman dead though?
He ripped her in half and her guts fell out everywhere.
Is Newman dead though?
We literally have watched Soups get dragged across the ground, and we've watched Soups die.
Okay,
we know they can die.
No, we do know they can die, but we've also never seen a Soup with Noman's power die.
Yeah, because her power is the same power as the chick from Gen V, where she's hemokinetic.
Exactly. Now
so you're thinking like she just puts herself back together?
Why not?
Well, if you think about it, your brain is still alive for 7 seconds before you're done. So you think within those 7 seconds she was able to keep enough blood in her heart to keep her brain alive?
As far as I know, it's several minutes. But here's the thing. Once again, like you just said it yourself. Who's to say what level of discipline she has over her ability and what part she doesn't?
You're right, because she shows that with Monroe.
Right? So it's like she could have been ripped in half. And technically, if she had enough control over her own blood, thus in essence having enough control over her own body, why couldn't she keep her organs alive?
That's true.
Her heart's intact, her organs, her lungs are intact, her brain's intact.
Ooh. Yeah. That is solid. That's fucking solid.
Like, we saw her get mortally wounded. We didn't see her die.
Her eyes were white.
See?
Her eyes were white because when she uses her powers, her eyes go white.
And see, and like when Marie uses her powers, her eyes don't do that. So it's like Marie might still be like an actual novice with the ability, opposed to her, who's actually got like some mastery level at the shit.
And even when she was laying there in 2 parts, her eyes were still white.
Like this could have been like when Thawne got shot by Batman in the alternate universe, and then channeled the Speed Force at the last second. And next thing you know, this fucker was running around a whole other timeline trying to stop himself from dying. Like,
that is a very good point. That is a very, very good point. Ooh, she gonna come back with a vengeance because now her daughter is locked away in the same kind of like torture superhero group home that she was in.
Let's not forget about what Billy did to her husband.
Oh yeah. That's true. That's very true. But even then, oh yeah, she probably would have came back. She probably would have came for him after if that wasn't the whole situation and they actually succeeded, she would have came after him after. Because that's what I would have done. I'm like, all right. Call it a truce for right now. Because they're still alive. You may have taken their leg, but they're still alive. I'll let you side for right now. Wait till the mission's over. Because I still got to get you for hurting them. I still got to get you for hurting them.
Like, nigga, you threatened something that was mine and tried to take what was mine. Now we're catching the ultimate fade.
The fatal fade. We're catching a fatal fade after this. Absolutely. This show is just so. There's like so many, like it's nuanced. It's definitely nuanced.
The amount of details, yeah.
There's a lot to keep track of. But they do it in such a great way. And I'll say this. I love at the end, we end up realizing who the true real villain is. Sage.
Listen, man,
Homelander got nothing on her. She ran circles around that man.
Well, that's because
he didn't even know it.
Brains beat through force every time. But I don't know. I got real mixed feelings on that whole thing because like that last season, don't get me wrong, I get that art imitates life and life imitates art. So it's like you can't tell me that whole election, not the whole election, everything that just happened in the last series doesn't mimic what's going on currently with the election. So
no, it was
definitely supposed to be like a parody of it. So
yeah, absolutely. They even said that there was actually a disclaimer for that episode. There's actually a disclaimer that they don't agree with political warfare or any of that. There was a whole disclaimer at the beginning of the episode.
Well, that's because everybody's boy just got shot at, right as that episode happened. So
actually, no. While they were filming this, because remember, this is January 6th shit. That's what this. Because remember, the day that all this was happening was January 6th.
Shit.
Yeah. Yep. It was January 6th. It was just when Biden was coming in because Trump was tight about the election and shit. He felt like they didn't get counted right, and so he said the shit he said and got motherfuckers riled up and shit. So a disclaimer. So this season was supposed to be mimicking the whole lead up to the January 6th shit.
Okay.
Yep. Because if you look at it, who is it? It's an old white man with a younger female of color. And the person that wants to take the spot is a maniacal man who lives in a big tower. He's a blonde hair, maniacal man who lives in a big fucking tower. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's exactly what they were doing with this season. But no, the shit with Starlight and the shapeshifter, that was wild. That was out of pocket. Because here's the thing, we also don't know if the shapeshifter was male or female, because they were wearing different skins. Like every time we seen her, she was in a female skin. So there's a possibility that the shapeshifter was female.
Well, I believe they state themselves that they actually don't even remember what they look like.
Yep.
because they said that since the first time that he did it when they were in grade school.
Yeah. Yep. And they became their teacher.
Yeah, and that's enough to fuck anybody up just a little bit.
Yeah, especially in grade school. Grade school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little crazy.
Yeah. That's wild. But no, like this, man, this whole show is just absolutely out of pocket. So one, and we skipped over the fucking funnest season. I'm pretty sure Herogasm was season 2.
Nah, I think it was season 3.
Was season 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought season 3 was fucking great. Season 3 was great. Like we thought the first episode of the series started out with a bang. First episode of season 3 was a literal bang. And I know exactly what scene y'all know exactly what scene I'm talking about.
I'm not gonna say a word. I'm just gonna let you go ahead and cook.
Yeah, man snorted lines of coke and then climbed inside of his boyfriend's penis.
See, this
And
one
sneezed.
Oh boy.
so quickly.
Man,
He's trying to get in my ass. That's what Frenchie said. Oh my god.
because that was all that was tailing off of, because it did, and this is one big thing that I love about The Boys so much. It's because it is, like you said, that that art imitates reality, heavy. Because what was that just coming off the end of?
Nigga, I don't know.
In-game.
Don't ask me.
In game, and everyone was doing like, oh well, why doesn't Ant-Man just crawl up his butt and grow up Thanos' ass and grow, or climb inside of his ear and grow? That's what that was carrying on off. That's what that was building off of. Everyone was going crazy about that shit. They're like, oh well, climbed inside of him and grew.
It's crazy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It really is.
And then everything in that season was just out of fucking pocket, especially Herogasm. That whole episode was the epitome of outside of the pocket.
These are the lines that are non-existent now.
Yeah. Man answers his door with his penis because it can stretch and he can control it.
I would not.
I love sausage.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Like, come on now. Just wild, man. Like, this show literally, like you said earlier, Jay, like it put everything on a silver platter, and then, like I said, it just forced you to eat it.
Literally.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Yeah. And so one of the big downfalls that I feel like the show has is I feel like it rode on shock value for too long.
Yes, I agree.
Like, we didn't need the shock value. Yeah, blood, gore.
Well, no, to an extent, yes. Because I mean, like the whole thing with Pop Claw, let's be honest. That shit was priceless.
It was priceless. But was it necessary? No.
Yes.
It was not.
Yes. That was necessary. No. Now, listen, the thing with Pop Claw was necessary. That was absolutely necessary. The thing with fucking the Deep getting blown by an octopus and then him being in a natural relationship with the octopus, no, that was not necessary.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was.
You remember the scene where the dolphin goes through the windshield?
No, that was necessary. That was necessary too.
I mean, holy shit.
Like, all right. Well, if I touch it, well, then when you stop, he goes to slam on the brakes. All you see is this nigga fly through the windshield, slow motion.
And I love how they try to mimic Free Willy with it.
I was like,
See
what?
underneath and it going across the screen over the top.
I was like, what is going on right now? Oh my gosh.
If I touch it, would you leave me alone?
Yeah, boy.
Oh my god. And he just goes through the windshield. Like, yeah, that was a priceless moment. That was needed. But like the whole sneezing inside the penis thing, that was that needed?
I mean, no.
Triage, I know you can't justify that.
Listen, man, don't do coke.
I mean, yeah, that's a all around good rule of thumb. But like, no, scenes like that weren't needed. So I definitely feel like there's certain bits of that shock that is definitely needed. But I feel like there were, and again, season 3, it was just heavy shock value. Heavy shock value.
Like I said, don't do coke.
Well, I feel like the story was good enough. It's more than good enough that it would have been able to rock and survive out, even if they didn't go so hard on the shock value.
I tell you what was hard, that sneeze.
Until it was mush.
Oh my.
Till it was mush. Like, he really busted everywhere.
Pause.
Did he not?
Pause.
He went everywhere. He went everywhere. My next statement that I'm going to make right now is 100% outside of the pocket. It is out of pocket. I'm warning everyone right now. My next statement that I'm going to make,
oh boy,
is completely out of pocket, and it is not for child ears at all.
Oh boy.
If you plan on going to heaven one day, if you believe in that, click off right now. You've been warned. Like, I heard of making someone come before, never making them gone.
Wow.
He made that nigga gone everywhere.
You are going to hell.
That was pretty clever.
And the gasoline drenched handbasket.
Well,
I warned everyone. I would say that I gave ample warning, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying, no one can complain now. I went on a little rant for at least a minute, almost a minute about that, about what was about to happen next. Just want to point that out. And I do have the moniker on the bottom of the screen that this is a rated M stream.
Mm-hmm.
I made it loud and clear. This is a rated M stream. YouTube, you heard me. Twitch, you heard me. Kick, you heard me. Facebook, you heard me. Made it loud and clear. But yeah, it was unnecessary. It was a highly unnecessary scene. Like, the junk explosions that happen in Gen V, they're necessary because they are those women, defending themselves, protecting themselves against those predators. So those junk explosions, 100% necessary for the show. Not in that moment. They got away with the tiny man smashing the doll inside the dollhouse. Cool.
What-
out of pocket,
what-
but it's on brand. Right? But then that man whipping it out onto the table and said, get inside me. That is crazy. Unnecessary. Highly unnecessary.
We all got our kinks.
But
Okay,
there's
so let me ask you this:
Oh,
if it had been two women, would you have felt the same way?
yes, it's out of pocket.
Hmm.
I don't think he would have felt the same way.
I don't think he would have felt the same way either.
No, I definitely would have because
All right. So you're telling me if some woman had shrunk down, got inside her girlfriend, and decided to put her Kirby inside her mouth, and actual do like the speedball thing, like they do in the old cartoons with the thing in the back of the throat, you'd.
it was
Oh
it was
my
it was what
God.
happened next. It was what happened once inside. That was the problem for me. I have a very strong stomach, and that made my stomach turn. I'm like, that is unnecessary. Red card, foul on the play, technical foul. Get him out of here. Ejected. Gone.
Honestly, it's interesting what they put in the show in comparison to what's in the comics. Like, because I know some things that are in comics, like, rape scenes or,
Certain things
stuff
don't
like,
translate well. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even the other option for this episode was Invincible. In the graphic novel for the season that's coming up, there's a scene where
where
he gets raped.
Invincible does get raped by a woman of his own species, so he cannot fight back.
Yeah.
And supposedly in the graphic novel, it is like he is traumatized. Like,
yeah, and like it's like so I don't know if they're even going to be able to translate that over to screen because
exactly.
I agree with you. There's just certain things that are just like
In bad form.
in bad taste as well.
Yes.
And like I said, that's where that line comes in. There's a line.
If you can put something on a television screen that has more humor in it, even though it's still sexual, that seems to be more accepted. But
something like that. Yeah, me personally, I don't know if I'd be able to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch it with that. If they are able to, if they do translate the screen, because that, like I said, I read the pages. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's really rough. He's being physically assaulted before all this. So he's literally cannot. She breaks his arms and his legs. He literally cannot do anything.
She literally holds him down and rapes him. Like,
yeah, that is like, I don't know if I'll like certain things. Just like I said, there's certain lines.
Yeah.
There's just certain lines, and that's definitely one for me. That's definitely a big line for me. That's like, let's not cross that. So I'm I don't know, and here's the other thing that's interesting too, because me and Trash were talking to us before because he just he got me into watching Interview with a Vampire, and for those know, Interview with a Vampire comes on AMC, which is like for basic cable, I think it's like what channel
29.
Yeah, like 29. So it's on actual television, and there were certain scenes that with a certain level of nudity that I did not expect to be in an actual on a television program. Streaming, yes, because streaming rules are completely different. But like actual broadcast television, they're very strict, usually very strict on what level of nudity is allowed.
Yes, yeah, they are.
They don't see tops and you can't see bottoms or back. Like you can see the person nude, but you cannot see their actual
body.
The body parts.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
You know, but there is like actual like full scenes of nudity in there, and I'm like, what? So now when you translate that over to what is allowed on streaming, that those rules start to get bent a little bit because of the level of control that they have over who watches it.
I mean, if you think about it, like Game of Thrones, when Game of Thrones was coming out, that showed
HBO.
that's true, full frontal nudity, and I'm pretty sure that there was a rape scene in there too.
There's quite a few,
Quite a
But-
couple, actually.
quite a couple.
However, it's not animated. It's not a cartoon either.
Yeah, and even then, the rules for that are also different as well. The rules for that are different, but there are still some constant things, like I would say, like the thing that's I still don't think that they'll be able to show a scene like that animated.
No, no.
They would probably show enough to the point where you got the point.
Yeah,
Like maybe
that's what I'm thinking.
maybe like you see her forcing herself onto him and kissing him. Like,
Oh no, there was no kissing in that, and that there was none whatsoever.
oh,
But
I'm just,
he's saying like enough to the point where you got the point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she dives bombs from the sky.
Like a fucking carrier missile, yes.
Yes, and just drops down full throttle.
It's crazy.
Like she breaks his arms and legs in the air and throws him back down to earth, and he's just in a crater of his own making.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe they'll show enough to that you get the point, so that it's going to be just on the edge. It's going to be graphic enough for that shock value, but also enough that they're not going to get, an episode banned. So I don't know. I feel like, so when it comes to streaming, like those rules are very different because like they're able to control who is viewing the content way
Yeah.
better than live broadcasts. Kid can just be flipping through the channels. Oh, what's this? Oh my god. Oh mama. Oh my god, mama. You know what I mean?
He wouldn't say that. He would be quiet and then just start watching it.
I
He
was
wouldn't
very
tell his
quiet and
mom.
start watching it. But like shit like that can traumatize a kid.
It can.
Yeah. But no, I just find it so interesting, so damn interesting how the rules differ. And then like when it translates back to the boys, it's rough. Like the show is very, very, at some points it is rough to watch for those of you who don't have like a strong enough constitution. It's hard to watch. But again, I grew up throughout the 90s and early 2000s. I'm from the 99 2000s. And there was a lot of that. We were at the verge of, we were at the beginning of the internet when censorship was very, very laxed on the internet. Like,
I mean,
y'all remember the Mexican chainsaw beheadings?
Jesus.
No, I do not.
Oh, wow.
Kids today are not exposed to what they were when we were kids.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like they're overexposed, so they're completely desensitized. Unlike us,
yeah.
We for us that this was shocking shit. Because we weren't exposed to this fucking early 2000s. No. I'm scooted forward a little bit. Cannot say early 2000s. I can't say early 2000s and then the next line I was about to say in the same sentence. due to events. Everything after, like from 2010 and going forward a little bit, we're good. You know what I mean? So, like certain things we weren't used to seeing.
Well,
You know?
I think it's more the dynamic of what we got used to seeing got shifted. For example, I heard this dude say on Instagram the other day, he was like, my generation of music was about selling drugs and the hustle of the making the money and everything else. The music today now is about using drugs and the euphoria of the high.
Yeah. Yep, I saw that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw that.
Yeah, and that is literally just like the difference in the generation, like
big time. But at the same time, there's motherfucking hypocrites, because when WAP came out, everybody was bugging out about WAP. Oh my God, it's over sexualized. It's so nasty. It's so raunchy. LL Cool J came out with a song called "Doing It," where the woman is literally moaning on the track.
Hey man, when you're good at what you do, I'm just saying.
The lyrics are, it was our first time together and I'm feeling kind of horny. Conventional methods of making love kind of bore me.
Yeah, but he is LL Cool J too.
Hey man, ladies love Cool James. I'm just saying.
Ladies love Cool James, right? Yeah.
But but I also think that's just the dynamic of the music. You gotta remember, like that's no different from Ron Isley talking about Between the Sheets. Like, you know what I mean? There's got to be a level of smoothness and classiness to it.
Yeah.
Like we went from Aaliyah talking about how age ain't nothing age ain't nothing but a number to the WAP.
But at the same time, we came from my neck, my crack, my pussy in my back. Yeah, man,
That's still the
WAP.
Nah, that's exactly still the exact same downtrend. And it's like with women, in my opinion, I think it's been a little bit more of a cultural thing because, like, you know, when a woman says those things out loud, she gets labeled a tramp, a whore, she's a slut, she's this, that, and the third. I mean, everybody,
yes.
Right? So it's like, but you know, if a guy says how he wants to bend a woman up and this, that, and the third,
he gets applause,
right?
Which is a really fucked up double standard. I believe all three of us agree that, you know, this is a double standard, fucked up double standard.
Yeah.
Just want to point that out there. I don't know, man. I definitely agree with I agree, but I'm also mixed on that because I do feel like, you know, we had some pretty raunchy songs growing up.
We did, but it's also one of those things like where it has to work within the dynamic of the song. Like look at Peaches and Cream. Like we all know what they were talking about.
Yeah. No,
but it's one of those things like where it was done with a certain level of
discreetness.
Yes,
it was discreet. Yeah. You know, I guess. I mean, but again, we also had Biggie talking about "Shorty so fine, I want to suck on her daddy's dick." Come on.
Yeah, that was a little gay. That was a little. I don't know about that one.
But the level of graphic, I want to say graphicity. I'm gonna make up a word here. I'm gonna say graphicity of it all. You know what I mean? And even then, WAP wasn't. It was. I feel like lyrically, it wasn't as raunchy as the imagery. You know what I mean? It was more so the imagery that was raunchy rather than the lyrics. The lyrics were highly suggestive, but when you couple it with the imagery, then it comes out and can be, you know, seen as over sexual or over raunchy. You know, so but also, you know, we started kind of that trend, and then of course, like you said, it's just a downhill trend on that. So this next generation coming along, they're used to their parents listening to that kind of music. So as it progresses and gets maybe more raunchy and more over sexualized, that's when they become desensitized to it. So I think that's that. So I think that's where the shock value for me came in with watching The Boys, is because I wasn't ready for that. You know, that's not something I was desensitized to necessarily. You know what I mean? I had my level, like I said, I've watched the, fucking Gorgrish, .com, the Pan Olympics when that was going around big, fucking,
Oh
like
yeah.
all the Mexican chainsaw beheading videos that were dropping back then when I was growing up. And that was like middle school.
Listen, what fucking rabbit hole of torture did your black ass go down? Because that shit sounds fucking bananas. I don't know what you're
was.
talking about.
It was. You got to remember, we're from different ages. We're from different eras.
Oh, listen, they're not that far apart. You
Not
talking
that
about
far,
some-
but there is a big difference. When were you born?
I was born 89.
89. So that's the end. So that's just the start. Right before things
See,
started getting crazy.
yeah. See, I was born in '94.
Me too. So by the time like we were in middle school, you were already in high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to remember your generation is moving with you. I can't even really say that because again, we're not really too far off. But the people that generation, that late 80s generation, it's moving on up with you. But when the 90s hit, things were very different so I was in middle school in the early 2000s. Well, in the mid 2010s. I graduated in 2013. So I started middle school when did I start high school?
2009.
Yeah, 9. Yeah. I started middle school or high school in 2009. I started high school in 2009.
Yeah, high school in 2009. Middle school, I think, in 2005.
Yeah. Yup. So, like, there's that you got to look at that time frame within those years. 2005 to 2009. You know what I mean? All the while you were already, you had already went through middle school by the time I even hit, middle school kind of thing.
Mm.
So that your generation is like was moving along with you. So, but back behind y'all, we was going through some shit. Because we were the age when the internet, like clearly you watched the internet come along just like we did, right?
Right.
But for you, it was already like when things really started dropping and get crazy, you were already on to other things. We were seeped in the middle of when shit got crazy with the internet.
It's funny. My oldest sister was born in '89, and I can remember her having an AIM.
Yeah.
An instant messenger, one of those AIMs where.
Oh, he dropped out while he was talking. Damn. But yeah, so like the shit that I went through in middle school, like with the internet and the first experiencing the internet, and before all the strict censorship, laws came along. Man, it was rough out here. It was rough out here on that internet, man. That internet was wild. It was still young, so there was back doors to get anywhere you wanted to and get through all these different things because like the certain the level of coding wasn't nearly what it is now. Let me pop him back in here.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
No, it's all right. But yeah, no, like so like kids these days are overly what was the word that we used before?
Stimulated.
Well, one, they're overstimulated, absolutely, but it's more so like
exposed.
Yeah, they have overexposure to all this. You know what I mean? It was such a heavy overexposure. So remember when we were growing up, porn was taboo.
It was.
Watching porn was a heavy taboo.
Big no.
Now people do it legally and get paid for it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
You know what I mean? So
nothing against anybody doing OnlyFans, but I'm just using that as an example to say how like times have changed.
Yeah, massively.
And it's only in the span of a decade.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And like that's another example. You can literally, like a 20-year-old something girl can literally make a living now doing OnlyFans when I was taught growing up that I had to work my ass off. Like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Yep. Also, you got to get them calluses on your hands.
Yeah.
You got to be out there working. Now we got 5-year-olds making more money than we could make in a lifetime using work, doing that hard work.
And that hard work is literally essential for a young person growing up, because that hard work teaches them what they're capable of and gives them the self-esteem that they need for life. And that's why young people today like have zero self-esteem.
Mm-hmm. And I do feel like that is changing a little bit, because doing what we do, I can't say this shit's not hard work. I cannot say this shit's not hard work. This
Yeah.
It's just like the hard work has changed. What you work hard at has changed.
Yeah, I will respect that.
Yeah, because this shit's hard. This shit's hard. Triage, how long have we been doing this for? This is like our third year?
Third year, yeah. Third going on fourth.
Yeah, third going on 4. Oof. I gotta go back and see when our first video came out, so I can know what day would be our 4-year anniversary. Ooh,
That's
we gotta do something
incredible.
special for that. Oh, and we're creeping up on 100 episodes. Oh, so we got 4-year anniversary and 100th episode.
Woo!
Wow. We can probably combine them to the same day if they're close enough.
Probably.
Yeah. Oof. We gotta figure out what to do for that. But no, yeah. It's hard work, but I guess it's like, because we went into it. There was a whole era where like people were just oversensitive, but I feel like that era is starting to die now, because you're right that it was, that middle generation there wasn't raised with the same mentality of that hard work and preparation and stuff like that. But now that these other ventures have come along where they want to do it, it's fun to do, but it's also hard work. Now it's starting to switch.
Yeah, the hard work changed from physical to mental.
But there was a time where that, society was just very weak mentally and physically.
Yeah.
And then when this whole podcast, video game streamer, influencer age hit, it started to change now. Now people are working hard. Then now they see, oh, I can make money by doing this. Oh, now I'm gonna work hard for it.
Absolutely.
Hey, what's up, Lady Mandalore? Shout out to Lady Mandalore who just popped into the stream. Thank you for watching. We're on the last bit of our tangent now. We were just about to close on up. But this episode we just broke down the boys, how we felt about it, the highs and the lows, and then the things that we felt they could have did better, and or even then more so like why it worked and why it's working. And then our last tangent has been going on just like why the shock value for the older audience and viewers of the show is different compared to how the younger audience of the show has dealt with the shock value of the boys, and why maybe that is. And now we're getting on a whole social social breakdown of it all. But yeah, no, the hard work that we were raised on, from the 80s and 90s is a different hard work that kids are being raised on in the 2020s.
It is. Yeah, it is.
But everything in between that kind of era was just weak. Just weak. But now, people people are working harder. Damn, I'll catch the rewatch. We just went over the Acolyte on my side. Yeah, we went over the Acolyte back in May, right? Triage?
Correct.
Yeah, we went over the Acolyte. We didn't do a final episode on like the series in a whole yet. But we definitely will. We'll get around to it. We'll get around to it at some point, especially with everything going on right now with it being canceled. That'll be something that we're definitely gonna touch on at some point. But I really want to talk about this Venom shit.
Oh, I'm surprised we didn't start with that if I'm keeping it a stack.
Yeah. We next episode. Can we talk about the Venom shit?
Of course.
All right, because I got a lot to say. Oh man, this shit's been eating me alive since the trailer dropped. Eating me alive. It made Triage. I thank you so much. You are a blessing for gifting me the entirety of the King in Black storyline. It's absolutely crazy. Oh, it's absolutely crazy. Yeah, that the whole situation is quite interesting. Oh, it burns my britches. I haven't found something that really grinds my gears, that really jams my Glock like this.
That really grinds my gears.
Like, this jams my Glock so bad. Woo. But yeah, next episode we definitely gonna rock. We definitely got to rock on that. I was also telling the guys we just realized we're also coming up on our 4-year anniversary of doing this. Then we're also creeping up on to our 100th episode doing this. So we gotta plan some things out for these big events, these big milestones for us. Shout out to Midnight Comics. They just passed their 4-year anniversary last month. So shout out to them for doing it for this long and getting this much success that they have now. I feel bad we haven't ran any of the promos this whole episode because we were just rolling through. So y'all, let's take a quick break. Let's run these promos. We got some amazing people doing some amazing things out here, and then we'll get back with our final remarks and wrap the show up. See you in a moment.
Going on, everybody, Lloyd Jones with Midnight Comics here, and we'd like to introduce you guys to our show, The Indie Breakdown, a show where we break down your favorite indie comic book characters' power, stats, and abilities, and get them ready for an eventual indie versus matchup. All Indie Breakdown episodes go live first on Spotify and on Patreon, with them eventually showing up on YouTube. So if you guys want to check out The Indie Breakdown and learn more from your favorite indie comic book creators, now's the time to do so. We hope you guys decide to tune in, and remember, until next time, midnight is coming.
Hi, I go by Lady Mandalore, the creator of Roomful of Blurs. Do you have a whiteboard in your room? Do people get a glazed over look in their eye when you start to explain things to them? Well, come join me every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we can talk comics and get to know some new creators of color, only on YouTube and Twitch.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Calvin, from the Icarus Podcast, and I just want to say that we got new episodes coming next Saturday and every Saturday after that. So all I will have to say from here is keep enjoying the show. You can check us out, www.icarusmetrocomics.com. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and more. See y'all next time.
Join the Pulse. We're excited to announce the launch of Heartline Comics' newest line, the Barcode Collection. Our fresh drop just hit the internet and is turning heads. Imagine this: you're rocking our merch, and friends can scan the barcodes to instantly connect with the Heartline Comics website. It's a game changer. Stay ahead of the curve and never miss a beat. Subscribe to our website for exclusive alerts on the latest merch drops and the newest comics hitting the shelves. Be part of the Heartline community and show off your style with pride. Trust us. You don't want to miss this.
And we're back. Please tune into every last one of them. They got some amazing things going on. And again, shout out to Lady Mandalore who's watching right now. Oh my God. Yeah. So let's do these final remarks. Let's go. Jay, what are your final thoughts and final remarks on The Boys and where? Well, you haven't seen the ending of season 4 yet, but where do you think it's gonna go?
Okay. Well, The Boys as a whole I'm really, really glad that a show like it was made, because with all the superhero movies and superhero everything that has come out, in the last, 15 years, this show really shows you a completely different side of the superhero story. So I think, well, oh man, I have a few things in my head on where it could go. I think that we're gonna see some major just fuck ups.
Oh, he's right on that one. There you go. That's definitely one thing that happens. Yeah.
Well, we've also got to see that this isn't going to be the end all be all either, because we already know that Gen V's coming back for another season, and they announced that they're giving Soldier Boy his own show. So
whoa, Gen V coming back for another season. I didn't hear about this. How are they doing that?
How could it not?
Because young homeboy, R.I.P.
Listen, man, there is no way they're not bringing those characters back.
I mean, they have to. They already brought two back. They already brought two of them back in season 4. So they got to bring Marie. Okay, all right. Okay. I thought they were just gonna dissolve them into the main show. I think they were gonna do a whole nother season of Gen V.
I would be phenomenally surprised if they didn't.
I mean, yeah, like it was fucking amazing. I actually enjoyed Gen V more than the boys. So Lady Mandalore says they aren't going to replace the character of the dude that passed. Wait, so they're not replacing the character?
They're not going to recast him.
They're not recasting him?
No.
Oh, so he probably yeah, so he probably did shoot. They probably shot stuff before that. And again, that shit was very, very sad. I'm not gonna lie, it actually really saddened me because I was a big fan of him. My first time being introduced to his acting was as Ambrose and the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix, which is a great show. It gets really, really dark, but great show. But no, yeah, I'm surprised. I'm very surprised about that. Okay, all right, bet. I'm strapped in. Let's do it. Soldier Boy, I knew they were going to do that. I heard that there's rumors of them bringing in Jared Padalecki, who played Dean, because they play Sam. They got Jensen Ackles who played Dean. They brought
they stick them back together again for what? For fucking what? Why?
Because CW fucked them on that last season. And
you're right. The show that went for, what was it, 16 seasons?
15. The new season that they're trying to drop is going to be 16. It's going to be the real end. And CW they wouldn't have given the money for it.
Why?
They had to find everyone. They had to find they brought the producer back, and they're doing a lot of this out of their own pocket.
Listen, my balls itch.
But yeah, no, they kind of want to do kind of like a reunion thing, because they already got Jensen Ackles. I forget his name, who plays their father, but he's the one who's playing Kessler. He also played Thomas Wayne. And
Jeffrey D. Morgan.
Yes. Yep. And so it's like, why not, bring in a bunch more viewers by having that reunion with them, with all of them. So I think that would be pretty. I am a big fan of Supernatural. I'm a huge fan of Supernatural. Oh my god, Lady Mandalore. She said, "You call him daddy."
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my god, there was a reference that they did make. Oh, and they got the dude that played Bobby. He's playing the senator, Bobby Singer, because that's his actual name. He's also one of the executive producers as well. So Yeah, and then
Honestly,
in the last season, they have him. He's like they're in a bunker or whatever, and he's playing golf, like mini golf, and like M says some shit to him, and he retorts back and calls him a fucking idiot. So
yeah.
in Supernatural, that was his character's thing. He was like really, really hardcore South. So instead of calling him an idiot, he would call him an idiot. Right? So, and then another like catchphrase that his character had in Supernatural was when shit went sideways, he's just balls. And so like he misses the putt and he's like balls. And I was like, oh, Supernatural reference. Love it. Fucking love it. Love it. Like all next thing, all they need is when all these characters, from Supernatural get in there. Also, one of the main writer on the main writer of Supernatural was the dude that can multiply himself. He also played a really big role in Supernatural as like kind of like the prophet. He was the one that kind of like wrote like
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
Chuck.
Yeah.
Was that him?
Yeah, that's him.
Chuck was the prophet. Yeah.
Yep. He was the prophet, but he was also the writer for the show.
But
so that's why they
that's
why they made him become the writer, kind of like the writer of the show in the show. Because that's what you end up finding out is that Sam and Dean's all their journey, he's been writing them and selling them as novels.
He didn't
know that I did know.
He didn't know that Sam and Dean were like real people. And then they show up one day and
it was like at a Comic-Con. It was like at a horror con.
Yeah, there.
Oh, it was Supernatural Con. Yeah, it was called Supernatural Con. And they had no clue, like, wait, our life is a fucking story? What the fuck? What's going on here? But yeah, they got him to play the dude that was multiplying himself, and that was also performing the Human Centipede on himself.
Oh boy.
Yeah, get ready for that. Sorry, I forgot to warn you about that spoiler before. I know you don't care about the spoilers, but it got crazy. So only thing they're missing when they bring all these characters together is they gotta play Carry On Wayward. They had to play Wayward Son in the background.
Carry on, wayward son.
Fucking Soldier Boy gets brought out of his cryostasis. He has to protect the president because remember, he's hardcore soldier. He's America. So he finds out that his son is trying to take over and kill the presidency, and he's like being a downward democracy. He's gonna want to take his head off.
Man.
So we can probably see Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy, Robert Singer as the president in the same room with Billy, who has what the hell was his name again? Triage.
Who? Butcher?
The guy that's playing Kessler and play Thomas Wayne.
Jeffrey D. Morgan.
Yeah. Have Jeffrey D. Morgan in the same scene, and clearly can't bring the writer back. But whatever character that Jared Padalecki is supposedly playing in the same room at the same time, they can absolutely 100% do that shit. They could even write it just to be as a even stronger fuck you. Have him be Soldier Boy's brother.
I can remember. I mean, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is such a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when he first appeared on The Walking Dead with his baseball bat, and he's like,
Lucille.
This is Lucille, and she is very, very.
No, yeah, that's great. It will be great. Triage, what are your overall thoughts on The Boys?
My overall thoughts on The Boys is that it was something that we probably desperately needed and we didn't know we needed, and it's something I think that's found its audience and people appreciate it. I think that it should end on a high note and it should go from there.
I absolutely agree. How do you think things are going to turn after this? At the end of the season, I
just hope we're not disappointed.
Yeah, yeah. I am too. I hope they don't decide just to do just like have the ending just be a big fuck you to everyone who just sat there and watched it. Um, I definitely agree with you. Especially at that time when this show premiered, there was a big thing going on about the oversaturation of superhero movies. And I feel like this gave us that much needed, reprieve from the stereotypical superhero movie.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, like me, I've always had that fascination with heroes, but that was still human on the inside. Like the Watchmen. I fucking absolutely love the Watchmen.
Yeah, absolutely. What are the human choices that these heroes are making? What are the choices that we would make? What and that's always the interesting thing to compare to.
Absolutely. So I just really feel like it was like you said, Triage, very much needed. And again, we didn't know that we needed it. So I just hope that it ends off on a high note. As for where I think they're gonna go with it, so the one thing I won't spoil for you, Jay, is the end. Is the way the season ends. But with the way it ended, I hope like they're gonna need Soldier Boy. Because now they're kind of now the Supes are being attacked on different fronts now. Billy's doing his own thing with his newfound abilities. Then we got the team. They got to find out a way to get themselves out of the bind that they're in. But then it's like a two fronts kind of thing now. But then as Soldier Boy wakes up, there's gonna be like three fronts right there. And then we also have Ryan, who we don't know what Ryan's doing right now. He said he needed to take a walk after snapping a chick's neck accidentally. I mean, I would need to take a walk after that too. So there's a possibility that Ryan may end up being the first real superhero. But then there's also a possibility that he might end up just being worse than his father. So that's still really up in the air. We see that he has a kind heart and loving heart. Lady Mandalore says, I think it's going to give the same feeling as the comic, a little bleak. I agree. I definitely agree. The way the last season ended, things are going to be dark at the beginning of this next season. It's going to be very, 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 very dark at the end of this at the beginning of this next season. Yeah, I just hope that they're able to end it off on a high note. Billy might get what he wants, which is mass genocide of all Supes. But at the same time, we might end up getting a united kind of thing where, we get the right Supes up there and things start to go back to how they are in the comic books a little bit. Or they just might take out the bad ones and just be no superheroes. People are just living and just all happen to have superpowers.
So I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that's actually been bothering the fucking shit out of me because it's never been clarified.
Shoot.
Whatever happened to the guys that Homelander get injected with Gen V in the first season?
Wait, what happened?
Remember, he flew and he gave Gen V to the terrorists?
Oh, they killed them all.
I do not remember them ever showing that.
Yeah. That whole thing where he was supposed to because remember the whole point was they were trying to force the government to militarize superheroes. So
I do remember that
big money budget. So what they ended up doing is they all ended up getting murked because a Homelander ends up murking them all. And that raid that was supposed to be like it was like a factory warehouse or something. And so they were trying to start a war. They're trying to start a quiet war. which they achieved, but it ended up getting thrown out because they were like, oh, we can't take this route because the boys then fucked it up somehow. But I do remember, like, that was the word. We got word that people overseas have gotten a hold of, of the superhero, serum, and now we're taking that as an act of war. So we got to go take them out, which gave, because they were trying to show that Homelander could work with the military, be more effective than the military. So that's why they had him go and murk all them out. But something ended up happening that stopped. Like, they were about to, put the Supes in the military, but they ended up like not. Something happened and they weren't able to do it. They went back on it. But yeah, no, that big warehouse scene, he where he ended up, it was like him. Well, he was supposed to wait to do it. But he didn't like the chick that he was breastfeeding off of. He didn't like the way she wanted to go about doing it. So he went before and murked them all out and said, look, see, I saw that this was happening. And so I went and did it. But it didn't work right with the optics that she had set up. So she scrapped the whole plan. Which is why he ended up turning against her. Yeah. So it was a quick thing. It was a big thing that they ended very quickly. It was a big plot point that they ended very, very, very fucking quickly. That literally, I'm surprised you even remembered it. I barely remembered that just now. Because Kimiko, she was, she's not an American superhero. Like, she was shot up with Gen V over in Japan and was, being trafficked and shit like that. And yeah.
And see, that's another angle that they could touch on too, because because that's like, how many other people have done that, or whatever happened to everybody else that she was in that pit with.
Yeah, because we do see the one chick that she scarred her face. So, but that's still something that Kimiko, she's still trying to go after. She still wants their heads, but she feels like she just has to go through her own metamorphosis first, and get herself right first before she goes back and tackles that. Because remember, in this last season, she says, her therapist is like, maybe, your muteness is from, the traumatization of your past, and you haven't gotten over it yet. So that's why she went and attacked the people, one of the people's hideouts that was nearby, and she ended up running into the chick that she fought in the pit. So I don't think that's over yet. I think that may be a side story, but but I also don't feel like it's that important for them to really touch on that too much, because the main problem is, the way it ended, and the even bigger the shitstorm that they're in now. I don't know, but I hope that there are bright things in the future for the show. It definitely has run its course, and it definitely is time for the ending. So I feel like it's very, very well timed, very well timed. So no, that's my final remarks. That's what I'm interested in seeing happen. Yeah, no. Overall, The Boys is a great fucking show. It is not for the faint of heart. Not for the faint of heart as well. If you have certain moral or religious beliefs, do not watch The Boys. It's not for you. It's not for you, and that's okay.
That is okay. That's okay.
Yeah, but no, yeah. So that's it for us. Tune in next week when we're going to be going over this whole Venom 3 debacle. Oh God. I'm gonna warn you all now. It's going to be a 2-hour episode. I got a lot to say. To say. If for those who've been watching us for a while, some episodes it's me going off the whole time. Some episodes it's 2 hours going off the whole episode. We each have our own episodes. Depending on like what the topic is. One of us knows more about it than the other. This one is mine. This one is mine. Oh, I am so very well prepared for this episode. Oh, this one is mine. So tune in. It's gonna be a fucking ride. It's gonna be a ride. And if you feel the same way I feel about what they're doing with Venom and bringing in Null, please tune in. I want to hear from you. Jump in them comments, blow them comments up. I want to hear from you. This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a real good one. And with that being said, check out our website, thesuperbreakdown.com. We have our merch up there, from our Fuck Prep Time to our 2% to our Into Jocka's Army. It's all up there for your purchase. Yeah, it's gonna get crazy. We're coming up on our 4-year, coming up on our 100th episode. We got a lot going. We got a lot coming for y'all, and we will be letting y'all know. So if you want to stay in touch with us and what we got going on and know what we're doing next, check out our Instagram, the Super Breakdown on our Instagram. And then most definitely tune in to our Facebook. Triage handles our Facebook. I handle the Instagram. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And then let's see, Lady Mandalore, you please come in the chat on the Blurred's Eye View on Tuesday. All right, Blurred's Eye View Tuesday. Everyone that's watching, Tuesday, Blurred's Eye View is gonna be a good one. All right, so they're going over on Tuesday. We're going over on Sunday, and then there's been a lot of other influencers that have been going over this and touching on this. This is a big one. Like Sony's been taking a lot of L's lately. This might be their biggest one.
Well, they got
yeah.
They kind of fucked themselves. This one, from what I'm seeing.
Oh, big time. They big time did. You know, right after, literally, they revealed the final trailer for this. Like 2 days after they did the reveal for the PlayStation 5 Pro, which makes no sense. It's gonna be, man. Listen, 8 p.m. Eastern time, y'all, for Blurred's Eye View. Check them out on YouTube. They go live on YouTube. Everything, Lady Mandalore, by all means, drop all the details on the comments. I'll put it up on the screen for everyone to see. But yeah, no, bro. The PS5 announcement, they're asking for like $200 to $300 extra. Mind you, the P5 at launch was already $600.
I think their asking price is $700.
Yeah, $700 to $800 for the Pro, right? And the disc drive is sold separately. And if you want to buy the disc drive, is added in the whole. So the Pro itself is $700, but if you want to have a disc drive, you got to pay a whole extra $100.
I mean, I'm a gamer. You know, I love playing video games. I have an Xbox Series X. I've played PlayStation as well. You know, if they make everything expensive nowadays, it's crazy.
But here's what they're offering for that extra $200. Slightly better improved CPU and improved GPU.
I have seen a side-by-side comparison,
and it's smaller. It does look cool. It does look cool.
There is a difference. Difference. It is slight.
But the software itself, it's only 65% better. They only run 65% better. And they're asking for mad extra money for it. So that's an L. And then right after that, 2 days later, they take the L of deciding that they're going to put Null in the third and final Venom movie. This is the third movie with no Spider-Man. How you gonna have a Venom movie without Spider-Man? And first off, but then you're gonna bring in a character that I'm gonna stop right now. I'm gonna save it. Yeah. I was about to go off. I'm sitting here looking at my book right now. Oh my god. Sony is powered by I can't even say that right. Bolivani marching powder. Jeez.
Bolivian marching powder.
Oh, I'm I'm tired. I'm tired.
Is that
It's been a long
playing for
day.
cocaine?
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, no. So Sony's taking big L's. We're gonna be talking about it. And we're gonna talk about it because I don't care about getting sponsored by Sony. You know, all the companies that we talk shit about on this show are companies that we don't care about being sponsored by. But no, yeah, that's just man. No, that's just it's gonna go crazy. So until next week, until next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, maybe 7:30, depending on how things run. It's going down. It's going down. We love y'all, appreciate y'all. 4-year anniversary coming up, 100th episode coming up. I think we're about 20 episodes away. So that's 20 weeks away. Yeah. So it's going to be crazy. So until next time, we love y'all. Peace, love, soul, and always remember, fuck prep time.
Fuck prep time.
And
fuck prep time.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Lady Mandalore, we appreciate you. Definitely. Post up when the episode's going up, and we will definitely share it to our people. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Peace.